Imagine if AOC got to write history books and they said, why do people sneak into America? Oh, climate change.
Climate change is different because we have an expiration date.
20 years from now. Climate change was so bad that people were walking from Guatemala to get plane tickets to fly to Michigan.
We've got 12 years to turn it around.
Yeah.
12 years.
For real? Are you sure? Are you sure that happened? Maybe there's other variables? What do you think?
My concern is that we are going to be the frog in the pot of boiling water.
Hey guys, maybe some of the stops along the way, they only speak Chinese and they have Chinese signs. There's like a concerted effort to get people in from China. Hey, something going on? No, just climate change.
We are going to debate and debate and debate and debate. And then when we actually finally pass something, it is a wimpy carbon tax and our kids are doomed.
Oh, so simple. So nice to be able to just...
Together, Bill Maher and Joe Rogan are destroying AOC in a way that is both humorous and savage. As you may recall, a wave of comments recently exposed AOC for making up details about her background and upbringing. Following their exposure to that truth bomb, Maher and Rogan have not let up. It is really frustrating that they have delivered verbal abuse. So, if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and let's begin the slaughter. Did you?
Did you hear what AOC said?
He wanted to pick a fight with me, below me. He's gonna lose that.
It's amazing.
Maybe don't send our country into war because you're in some type of mood.
It is straight out of South Park.
Gosh.
It's straight out of South Park.
Congress was supposed to have a classified briefing today, and they canceled it last minute.
Like what?
Yeah, I know.
It's giving scrambling. It's giving disorganized. It's giving they are having problems behind the scenes.
Do you know something I don't know?
Please understand that this is Trump's war. This is a Republican war. Don't let them...
Like, what are you saying?
I don't really get the context of this, but it's that Joe Rogan no longer even acts like he takes AOC seriously. She is no longer the most brilliant gem in a collection of flashy Democrats. In his opinion, he used to praise her speaking skills and her bravery for appearing before Congress at such a young age.
Did you see the video of when she found out she won?
It's amazing. Play it.
I'm gonna grab her. She's right here. I can't let you go.
It's like one of the realest moments. And look, people are angry. 28-year-olds, what the f does she know? What she doesn't know, she'll learn. Maybe she knows a lot. I like the fact she wasn't supposed to win. I like the fact that the guy who was an incumbent was a 10-term incumbent.
Yeah.
And that he spent 10-1 versus on her. How much money she spent? 10-1.
And grassroots got her elected, man. And that can happen.
Dude, she's a kid.
Yeah, that's...
And she's pretty. She's a pretty, young 28-year-old.
Yes, it was Rogan. The election of AOC to Congress has me utterly enthralled. He spoke articulately about her abilities and the promise he saw in her. And Joe wasn't alone either. Millions of people were curious. But as soon as the facade crumbled, Rogan's carefully cultivated persona disintegrated, and people began to see through her prepared talking points, and her tone swiftly shifted. Instead of amazement, there is now mockery. Praise is replaced by dissection. Rogan no longer sees himself as a trailblazer. He sees someone impersonating an activist, a politician skilled at using sound bites who doesn't back down from harsh criticism. Whether in interviews or on his podcast, his jokes have become more direct, acerbic, and humorous.
Imagine if AOC got to write history books and they said, why do people sneak into America? Oh, climate change.
Climate change is different because we have an expiration date.
20 years from now. Climate change was so bad that people were walking from Guatemala to get plane tickets to fly to Michigan.
We've got 12 years to turn it around. 12 years.
For real? Are you sure? Are you sure that happened? Maybe there's other variables? What do you think?
My concern is that we are going to be the frog in the pot of boiling water.
Hey guys, maybe some of the stops along the way, they only speak Chinese and they have Chinese signs. There's like a concerted effort to get people in from China. Hey, something going on? No, just climate change.
We are going to debate and debate and debate and debate. And then when we actually finally pass something, it is a wimpy carbon tax and our kids are doomed.
Oh, so simple. So nice to be able to just...
The fact that this is a collection of AOC saying absurd and illogical things doesn't really surprise me, as her infamous claim that we can address climate change in 12 years, as if global environmental changes could be neatly adjusted on a congressional schedule, ignoring the countless elements outside our control. But that's conventional AOC. This individual genuinely believes that the primary driver of global migration is climate change rather than political upheaval, economic collapse, or oppressive governments. Now, When Hillary initially entered the political arena, someone might have been overlooked, still speaking in this way after 5 years in Congress. Despite being youthful, inexperienced, and idealistic, idealism has evolved. It's ignorance. There is no reason to keep using crude, basic notions to tackle complex global concerns. It demonstrates a stunning resistance to learning, to change, or even to pausing and asking, wait, does this actually make sense? Rather, she steps up her efforts in hopes that spectacle and emotion will triumph over reason and reality. It doesn't.
One of my favorite interviews was when AOC was talking to that lady and she asked her to expand.
About Israel-Palestine?
Oh my God.
You use the term the occupation of Palestine. What did you mean by that?
I think what I meant is like the settlements that are increasing in some of these areas and places where Palestinians are experiencing difficulty in access to their housing and homes.
She just collapsed into herself?
It's literally like a fifth grader that didn't study.
Yes.
And then they ask you about the subject, or you didn't read the book. And then, it's about Billy and his dog, and they have a really good relationship, these dogs.
But the crazy
Do you think you can expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd also just, I am not the expert on geopolitics on this issue, you know?
Now AOC aggressively and confidently declares at the beginning of the interview that she is an expert. But as soon as the tough questions start to pour in, she folds, which is one of her characteristic movements. This is evident if you watch the full interview, as I did. When you pull her out of her comfort zone, where she is yelling about Donald Trump all the time, and push her to face her on real policy or facts, she loses it. It's almost predictable at this point. She does better in echo chambers than in public conversations. When she is challenged on substance, her confidence is diverted, her talking points fall apart, and the information she discussed becomes vague generalizations. This person is an authority on the subject of performance politics. Though there's little academic depth, there's a lot of emotional flair, and there's the danger. When style consistently wins out over substance and the media shields her from close scrutiny, we wind up with a politician who seems intelligent in sound bites, but falls apart when put under duress. Thus, Maher contributed his voice to the discussions on AOC's dishonesty.
Giant robotic tripods could be vaporizing New Jersey. Democrats would point out how the death lasers were disproportionately affecting low-income communities and people of color, and AOC would tweet, "Stop demonizing the Martian X community."
Indeed, it's humorous but unfortunately true. Should real Martians come into our neighborhoods and wreak havoc, the Democrats will leap to their support in the name of compassion. That's not too far off from what's happening at the moment, to be honest. The harm caused by unchecked illegal immigration cannot be denied. Prostitution rings are expanding, communities are suffering. Families are being broken up, law enforcement is overworked, and fentanyl is piling up on our streets. However, who is defending the chaos? The Democrats. AOC is leading this movement as usual, peddling fairy tales while Americans suffer the consequences. That is to say, Bill Maher was absolutely correct. Even if aliens from space were tearing through Los Angeles, Democrats would still be on CNN advocating for their right to live in peace. Solutions are no longer the main focus. It's political theater. Furthermore, in that arena, ideology is prioritized above evidence, and common sense is ignored. For example, in the video below, Mike Lawler chastised AOC for not understanding the recently passed lavish bill.
Well, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez caught that interview, or at least saw it online, and she wrote, "It's not normal. Lawler voted to make the tax breaks on billionaires permanent while making the no tax on tips, just for those making less than $25K, expire in just 3 years. He's also kicking tipped employees off Medicaid, ACA, that's Obamacare, and clawing back their SNAP." So is she wrong about this bill?
Yes, she's entirely wrong. Look, the standard deduction, for instance, which was doubled under the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, is made permanent. This is a huge tax cut for middle class and lower income families all across this country. Obviously, within this bill, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no a senior deduction a child tax credit expansion. This is targeted towards the middle class and working class and lower income Americans all across this country.
And that's exactly what I've been saying. She doesn't even comprehend the basics, and she doesn't pause, conduct any study, or engage with the issues before hurrying onto the stage. Take the great, beautiful bill, for instance. In order to ease the financial burden on the middle class, it promised to implement a sizable tax cut. Instead, AOC marched out lies, claiming that the government taxed people making less than $25,000 while allegedly providing the wealthiest with tremendous tax advantages. She made up more tales than truths. She tried to represent her past as a Bronx girl, even though school and yearbook records indicate she spent much of her upbringing in Yorktown, Westchester. Remember the allegation that started going around that she cashed her grandmother's Social Security checks? That was entirely satirical and had no real-world context. She has been in Congress for 5 years, yet she still spreads false information instead of the truth. It is more than just ignorance. It's a refusal to adapt, mature, or let the truth triumph above political theater. According to the prevailing argument, AOC is drawing a substantial audience. But listen to what Ma has to say about this.
It's not about the big crowds that come out to you when you're talking in a festival or wherever they are. I think it's because I think Bernie showed up at Coachella. That must have been fun for the fans. It's who shows up on Election Day. And I just don't see that's the ticket. I mean, Cory Booker, I know you've worked with him. I like Cory a lot from my home state of New Jersey. Made a speech for 25 hours. Again, just whacking each other off. This is just not what's going to get the job done.
I've said it a million times. The Democrats must start to take responsibility for their mistakes, especially those of the past year. Kamala Harris was drawn to the crowds, flashing cameras, and gushing endorsements from A-list celebs who were more interested in TikTok than the issues. But what were the results? A resounding loss at the polls. They even have a war chest of over $1.5 billion. Yes, $1 billion. I was yet unable to make good use of it. Why? Because their supposed leader, Kamala Harris, isn't a true leader. She is a PR product dressed in identity politics. She lacks the will, vision, and expertise to spearhead a real campaign. Even worse, they keep doubling down. Instead of changing their strategy, the DNC acts as if the defeat never happened. They are obsessed with plots and aesthetics rather than outcomes. If they don't wake up soon, 2028 will be deja vu.
Holy shit. He said what?
Did you witness the president commit a crime? Is it your testimony today?
Yes.
And what crime have you witnessed?
How much time do I have to go through it?
It is simple. You name the crime. Did you watch him steal something?
Corruption statutes, RICO and conspiracy.
What is it? What is the crime, sir?
You asked me to answer the question. I answered the question.
No.
RICO, you're obviously not familiar with. Corruption
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
It's a category of crimes that you're then charged
You
under.
have charges.
A long 100
You
list
have
of
charges.
statutes.
Please
Want me to name
name
the exact statute
sir,
under RICO?
yes.
Well, it's funny. In this committee room, there's over 18
All right, sir. I reclaim my time.
lawyers that went to law school.
I
I'll leave
reclaim
it
my
up to
time.
you guys
Okay,
to
thank
define
you,
the
sir. I
statute.
reclaim my.
It's almost too humorous to be real. During her entire speech, AOC asked Tony Bobby whether he had witnessed Joe Biden committing a crime in an attempt to get a gotcha moment. Bobby Linsky said categorically, yes. Disappointed, AOC took charge and demanded that he pinpoint the exact offense. So he did. He brought up corruption and RICO violations. But that's when it gets embarrassing. AOC seemed to be genuinely unaware that corruption and racketeering are crimes recognized by federal law. Bablinsky's direct answer to her query was too simple for her to follow, and she lacked the knowledge and possibly the integrity of mind to do so. And that's the problem. In the end, she tried to discredit a key witness while revealing incapacity on live television. Not quite as brilliant as her fans like to boast about.
The recommendation of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommended zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as it is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father
Mr.
from his
Holman,
family.
with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum and go through the port of entry, do it the legal way.
AOC seems to be much too fabricated to be regarded as a serious contender for president. She is just too loud for a job that demands diplomacy, intelligence, and composure. She is too progressive for the average voter, and she lacks the mental clarity to handle the demands of international leadership. Her constant need for attention, sound bites, and viral moments may be effective on social media, but they fall short when it comes to national leadership. However, there is still hope for her. Although she is still young, she has a capacity to mature into a more somber political figure who is humble, introspective, and eager to learn rather than impart knowledge. But let's be honest, she has no right to even bring up the president right now. She needs time, experience, and a harsh reality check. In the meantime, AOC would be better off taking a back seat, putting content above spectacle, and becoming the leader she wants to be. Performance is now more important to AOC than policy. She was noisy, unrefined, and painfully out of her depth. It's ridiculous that she wants to be president. Not her youth, but her unwillingness to grow up is the cause. If she truly wants to be a leader, she must stop acting and begin studying. The clock is ticking. This brings the video for today to a close. If you like our narration, please click the like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this one. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.